Insight. It's Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Umotte. Well, President Bola Tinubu is in his second week in office as the 16th president of Nigeria. But it's been an eventful 8 days for him and for Nigeria. A lot has happened since then, so many talking points. Perhaps the biggest challenge in office was how to navigate the often volatile subsidy question. So far, the president seems not to be doing badly in that direction. The initial aggression that heralded the subsidy policy has been largely contained. Anxiety seems to have shifted to the National Assembly, which is expected to be inaugurated next Tuesday. That's a week from today. The race for the presiding officers is expectedly fierce, with top contenders crisscrossing the nation seeking support. The governing APC has not only zoned the offices, but the party went ahead to announce preferred candidates. But the political scheming continues. The Senate has also approved the requests of President Bola Tinubu for the appointment of special officers. So, it won't be surprising if we begin to get reports of announcements and appointments anytime from now. So on Insight today, we will stay with several unfolding political events across the country. And my guest is here, ever reliable, ever dependable Bode Gbadebo, who is an online editor at the Leadership newspaper. But it's good to have you back.
My pleasure to be here after a long break.
I know. You were supposed to come last week, but you were a little bit under the weather.
Yeah. Thank God I'm here.
The job of a journalist. We all thought that after the elections, there would be some respite for us.
No.
So it's like the rope and the bird.
From one issue to the other.
It's like the rope and the bird.
And the circle continues.
It continues like that. Thank you so much, Bode, for making it once again.
My pleasure.
So you can be part of this program by joining us on a live stream on YouTube. Type in Citizen FM 93.7 and you will be part of the show in the world. And you can also listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng. And not to forget our social media platforms. On Facebook, you can follow us at Citizen FM Abuja. On Instagram, at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. So that's how it's going to be. By 10:30 we will open the phone lines. But for now, Bode and I are going to look at some of the unfolding political events in the country in recent time and do some kind of projections on what it's likely to happen in the next couple of days. So, but Bode, you've not been around since we had a brand new president, 16th president in the country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, I will ask you, so far, how far?
Well, so far, so good. With the benefits of doubt, I think today is today's Tuesday. Or today's Wednesday.
Today, okay, actually the 9th day in office.
The 9th day I said in office. Yeah. So nothing much has happened, except for I think two to three pronouncements. On the D-Day, in his inaugural speech, he announced to the world, to the chagrin of Nigerians, that the subsidy regime era was gone
for good.
And people were, caught on unawares. They had expected that, he will come and say, as I promised during my electioneering campaign, I will remove fuel subsidy by so time, in so phases. But to their surprise, it just.
But why were Nigerians surprised? Because following the Appropriation Act, PIA and even the Appropriation Act, the subsidy
exactly,
ended in June.
Provision for it by the end of June, and that's where the surprise is coming from. Actually, people expected that the subsidy regime will last till end of June, not being removed at the beginning of June. But then days later, the Group Chief Executive Officer, GCEO of the NNPCL, Mele Kyari, came out to actually clear the air, saying, well, for some time now, there have not been payment for subsidy. So there is no even provision for June. So let's just face the reality now and agree that subsidy era, is gone. So they have said this regime had been characterized with corruption and the rest of it. And for me, it's better we actually don't postpone the evil day. Let's face it. We have been buying fuel between 500 naira and 540 naira per liter. Life goes on. So apart from that pronouncement about fuel subsidy, then later, he made an announcement that 3 persons have been appointed into top positions in the presidency: the Chief of Staff, the Deputy Chief of Staff, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and the SGF. And then his engagement with the labor unions on how to avert strike and make sure they come to the table for discussion and dialogue, and also agree with the government on the need to phase out the corrupt fuel subsidy regime. Save for that, nothing much has happened. But that subsidy removal was a far-reaching, government policy, which is affecting everyone now. The ripples is there. Everybody is saying the effect. Transportation, people are lamenting. But I believe it's just a matter of time. We get to forget about it.
Okay, but you are a journalist, so the media and communication is naturally your forte.
Exactly.
A lot of people in the media would have thought that the president, one of the first appointments would have been a spokesperson for his government or a spokesperson for him.
Exactly.
And up to now, we've not seen the highest we've seen is Mr. Dele Alake sometimes speaking on behalf of the government.
Yes, I think describing himself as a friend of government, or friend of Tinubu.
What does it say about the political and maybe communication strategy of this government?
It says a lot, and it's a minus for the communication, strategy that this government might be employing later. Is a minus for them. They ought to have hit the ground running in the area of information management, coming at a time that a lot of things had happened about the Buhari government, misinformation, fake news, and the rest of them. So Tinubu, given his political stature, exposure, one expected that a spokesperson ought to have been one of his first appointments to speak for the president. But we have seen Femi Gbajabiamila sitting at the table also to dialogue.
Or could it be that the president was waiting for the approval of his special advisors from the Senate before we make?
Well, maybe a spokesperson will be part of the special advisors. And thank God the Senate yesterday, Tuesday, approved.
Yes.
Without interrogation.
The
list, yes, because there are no identities. We don't know who and who will be there. He just said, please approve for me a list of 20 special advisors. And they say, go ahead and do it. We don't know who they will be. You understand? So let's see what will happen today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, and in the end of the week.
Okay, if you're just joining us, it's Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and my guest is Bode Badebo, a seasoned journalist, an editor, actually, with online editor at the Leadership newspaper, and he's been helping us to make sense of some of the unfolding political events in the country in the last couple of days and some implications for it. So that's how it's going to be on Inside. Okay, Bode, just like you said, another issue that would likely maybe dominate discussions from next week. It has already been in the news. In fact, it was struggling with the subsidy issue for the top movement, and that's the National Assembly election of presiding officers
for the 10th National Assembly.
Yes, first, having covered politics for several years, the strategy by the APC from beginning showing its hands, these are our preferred candidates. Was that the right thing to do, or it was just a strategy of its own?
Well, that strategy was a wrong step, in the wrong direction.
They may not be wrong to the party leaders.
To them. But you can see the aftermath. You can see the implication. You can see the rancor, the disagreements, you know. You can see utterances that have trailed that zoning arrangement. I can tell you that that arrangement was very wrong. And I'll tell you the reason.
Okay.
You know, listeners are listening. Now, it is not new that a party with majority seat in the National Assembly or a governing party, as the case may be, we always want to have preference for people who will emerge as presiding officers of the National Assembly, be it the Senate or the House of Representatives. And the reasons are not far-fetched. Of course, they want loyal party people to be at the helms of affairs. They want people who understand the manifesto, the ideals of the party to be at the helms of affairs, so that there will be synergy between the institution of National Assembly, which they are heading, and the executive arm of government. And the Constitution, 1999 as amended, envisaged and also provided for this, that the arms of government independently can as well cooperate, interdepend with one another for good governance. No one out of the three should be subservient to the other. The executive, the legislature, and the judicial arm of government. And you ask yourself, are the seats of this, my Lord Chief Justice of Nigeria, have you ever been zoned to anybody or any zone? No. The reason is clear. There is hierarchy in the temple of justice. There is hierarchy. My Lord Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, I think will be retiring by next year. Already, save for any unforeseen circumstance, we know the next person to step in, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, because she has more years to stay in the judicial service. In fact, there is somebody between Justice Ariwola and Justice Kudirat Kekereekun. But that person will be due for retirement by the time Justice Ariwola will be leaving the space for the third person on the hierarchy, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun. No argument about that. But anything can happen. Between now and then, if such judicial officer is caught wanting, you know what that means. The person can be out of the line. These are clear in the Constitution. There are provisions. That is one arm of the government. The executive arm of government, which President Tinubu is heading today, you know what happened? On February 25, 2023, Nigerians came out en masse to vote. You remember the number? I think Tinubu got about 20 million. Atiku 11, Peter Obi 10 or something. You know, in totality, you have over, 30 or so million Nigerians out of about 90 that registered. That's not a good figure, but at least Nigerians in their millions came out to vote. In the estimation and pronouncement of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, which is the electoral umpire, it came out and announced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the duly elected president of the Federal Republic. And that, according to INEC, all rules were complied with. Abi, the Electoral Act, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. What does that tell you? In the estimation of INEC, the election was free and fair. Remember, INEC is currently defending that exercise before the Presidential Election Petition Court here in Abuja, so that its work will not be destroyed. That, yes, we have done a good job. That election was free and fair. APC and Tinubu are also defending themselves that we want a free and fair election. So if the election of Tinubu is free and fair to head the executive arm of government, why should the headship of the National Assembly be an exception? Why should that be an exception? But like I said, for political correctness, it is commonplace, yes, lobbying, arrangements underground for the party in power to make sure its preferred people, emerge leaders of the National Assembly. In their belief, they believe they will be friendly, they will be in the same bed with the executive. And you know what that means for democracy? They shouldn't be in the same bed. They should cooperate, but they should maintain their independence. Now, the mistake made by the APC is this. Zoning the position wasn't a mistake. Ascribing the position to individuals,
preferred candidates,
was the mistake.
maybe that was also a political strategy to.
It has no power to do that. You can only do that when there won't be election, when you have the power, absolute power to decide. But you don't have the absolute power to decide. Why are you wasting your time to ascribe position to individual? Remember, weeks later, the national chairman of the APC, the ruling party, Senator Abdullah Adamu, which I believe perhaps realized the mistake. When the preferred candidate for the House of Reps speaker came with his entourage, he told them, stop calling yourself speaker until the election day if you emerge victorious, because we don't have power to make you speaker. Our zoning arrangement was advisory. And what does the Constitution says about qualification for the position of presiding offices in each chambers of the National Assembly? Very, very clear. Then there is a standing rules, both in the Senate and the House of Representatives. Now I'm familiar with both. I was a parliamentary reporter in the House of Reps for some time. Then I'm a parliamentary reporter in the Senate. A senator, they made it for themselves. In 1999, when we started this democratic journey of Fourth Republic, they didn't see anybody as a senior senator. They are all coming. Even though as of that time, there were people already who were senators in the second
and third republic,
and the aborted republic. Thank you very much. But by 1999, they made a rule after the first 4 years in 2003 that, hey, come. If you're coming for the first time, you don't know the procedures.
You're not ranking.
Yes, you don't know the procedures. And that's correct. So that a presiding officer will not be a laughing stock. When you are supposed to hit the gavel, you shouldn't be writing. You should know what to say, you know. So that's why you are expected to have mastered the procedures. So they say people with cognate legislative experience, they now specify you are ranking if you have been to the chamber before and you are coming for the second time. You have mastered the procedure for 4 years. If that's National Assembly, but even if you are not in National Assembly before and you are at any time a member of the State House of Assembly, the same procedure, you are also ranking if you are coming up. You are believed to be ranking. In the Senate, if you had been a member of House of Representatives before, it's the same thing. And you are coming to the Senate, you are ranking. The same thing applies to the House of Representatives. Even though in Nigeria, you don't see anybody from Senate going to Reps. They see it as a demotion. But at least you can see somebody from State House of Assembly coming to the Reps. So they see it as the same. So these are the qualifications. Those contesting in APC, they are all APC members. So why should the ruling party believe that a certain member of the party is more deserving than another member of the same party? You know, it would have been odd if PDP, which is a minority party, Labour Party, which is a minority party, SDP, which is a minority party, and NMPP, which is a minority party, if any one of them is coming to say, I must become Senate President, I must become Speaker, people will even say, are you okay?
Okay, but I understand your line of thought, but also because I've also spoken to party members who also share the sentiments of the president and others who toed the other line. They are saying that what they did was just, it's like, this is somebody we would prefer. It's not an imposition on the lawmakers. It's not that, oh, this is who must emerge. It's our preference, which we have a right as party members to have preference. We are not going to vote on that day. It's the lawmakers. And secondly, they may also be trying to avoid the 2015 scenario in which people who, because but they come of
those
it,
people
but they come
in
of
2015
it.
They were members of the ruling party.
That's what I'm saying. See, the laws of the three separation of powers, these are not mutually exclusive things. Whatever you say in practical terms, especially in Nigeria, the president should really be interested on who emerges the Senate president and who emerges the speaker. So
who should be interested in who emerges the president of the Federal Republic?
Nigerians.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I guess that all this will be resolved on Tuesday on the floor of the Senate and also
at the inauguration of the
National Assembly. Because to give it to even the preferred candidate, they've not gone to sleep. I've seen a lot of them crisscrossing around, lobbying their members and everything.
They realize there is a reason for that. They realize the contest will not be walkover for them. And you know why? The ruling party does not have a clear and confrontable majority in both chambers. In the Senate, the ruling party has, out of 109 senators, The ruling party has 59. While all other parties, minority combined, have 50 senators. That's not a clear majority. In the House of Representatives, 360-member House, the ruling party has less than 180, around 170 something. Why the about 5 or 6 minority party combined has majority? They call them now greater majority. Have you heard that before? Greater majority. So you can see anything can happen. And in this situation, the only way you can have your way is through persuasion, negotiation. And why some persons are aggrieved and angry is that at the onset of the whole hula baloo, they said there was no consultation, there was no persuasion. Somebody just sat somewhere, wrote a list and said, these are the people we want, you must follow them. And they say no, they are not kids. They were elected by Nigerians to come to Abuja to protect their interests, and politics is a game of interest. So they can't go with that. And I don't blame them, because all what they are doing is within their rights of freedom of association and choice, and both guaranteed by the 1999 Constitution as amended.
All right, Bode, I think we need to take a short break, and when we come back inside, we will open the phone lines, and we'll also take messages. Inside, we'll return in a moment. Please don't go away.
.7 Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Looking for the best in news updates?
Yeah, man.
Listen to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Now listen. News on the hour, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at 6 p.m. Citizen FM 93.7. Always precise in news broadcast.
Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, bringing you news updates on digital technology around us, discussing the latest development and how technology can enrich you and make your life more exciting. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, welcome to our world of technology. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12, Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, expanding our global reach through technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Citizen at Sunset on Citizen FM 93.7. This is the fun-packed radio show you heard about. Did you miss any one of our programming today? Join me, Diddy, from the Citizen Hut when we run through our programs from sunrise. Stay abreast, get informed on news roundup. It even gets better. Do you think you know Nigeria? Answer 3 questions correctly and be one of our daily winners on Quiz Package. Let's take you back, way back on African Vibes. Let's celebrate the African people, the rich cultures across borders, the languages, the good food, and wealth of excellence on African Vibes. Join me every Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7 7. My name is Lawrence Umotte. It's 10:35 and Bode Badevo, online editor at the Leadership newspaper, is my guest. Is still around. And don't forget, you can be part of this program if you join our live stream on YouTube. Type in Citizen FM 93.7, and also you can listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng. Our social media platforms are also there for you to interact with us. On Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. And the phone lines are also open now officially. You can call us on 0903 2229 797. That's 0903 2229 797. And you can also call us on 0818 2222 205 or 0818 2222 206. You can also send us a WhatsApp message if you don't want to call. Just let us know where you are writing in from, and we will be glad to take your show. So, Buddy, before the president took office, a lot of political pundits advised that there should be maybe a national reconciliation, especially with how... sorry, we need to take this call. Just a minute, please. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Mr. Lawrence, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Who's on the line?
Yeah, this is Mr. David from Central Area, sir.
Okay, David, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. You see, our people say if you want to know the masquerade that dances from his dancing step, Mr. President, right from his inauguration speech, one of the statement he made from that inauguration speech, he said he's going to govern Nigeria. He's not going to rule Nigeria. That is, which means he's not going to be a dictator to Nigerians. Then he went ahead and said, fuel subsidy is gone. And immediately he made that comment, he made that statement. All the filling stations locked up their filling stations. The following day, they started selling the fuel price at the new the price regime. And since then, he did not come out to make any statement.
Hello, David. Okay, I think we lost David. David, you can call back 0818 2222205 or 0818 2222206. In the alternative, you can call us on 0903 2222. Okay, I think David is back. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning. Who's on the line?
This is Ifa Chiku, citizen.
Okay, Ifa Chiku, go ahead, please.
You see, the APC problem about this National Assembly is not today they have been poking up. Because... Ifa
Chiku, please, there are some language that you don't bring on radio, please.
I will do it. It's not today they have been making this mistake. Because they came to power without preparation. They don't have any plan in ground. What we are praying for them, they should prepare themselves and they make Nigeria move forward. We don't want this kind of National Assembly that now I'm presided over. It was just a rubber stamp. That's why President and the minister did whatever they did. When you go see a minister will carry another plane from another country, pent and come to save Nigeria, and he's still working free. So, in fact, the people who are taking our responsibility to work, if they don't work, we will force them to work.
Okay, thank you so much, Ivashiko. Okay, all right. Okay, the lines are buzzing now, but let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Mr. David calling back.
Oh, David, okay, thank you for calling back.
Yes. After that statement, may Kari come out to officially announce the official price of petrol station. And Tinubu didn't say anything. All Nigerians say yes, it is good. Oh, we know that it is good for for fuel subsidy to, in fact, we have been longing that all this issue of fuel subsidy should be over. But is it a must that if they remove fuel subsidy, the price of fuel price will jump to 540 or 537 at a go? Is it a must? I'm asking this question to Mr. Lawrence.
Okay.
Secondly, he said he's going to appoint technocrats into his cabinet or into his government. The 3 appointments he has made so far, I have not seen any technocrat. Governor Jeta Kume, I don't know if he's a technocrat. Femi Gbajade-Amela, I don't know if he's a technocrat, but all what he has done, he's still continuing what Buhari is doing. And I want to also ask, what Mekari is still doing in NNPC as the MD of NNPC? What is he still doing there?
Okay, David, thank you so much for your call. Okay. Yes, you can still call on 0903 2229797 or 0818 2222205. Also 0818 206. Buddy,
yes, I listened to all of them.
Yes. Before the calls came in, we were talking about the need for national reconciliation.
Yes.
As was the expectation before this government came in.
I think that is very, very necessary.
Okay, just a minute, please. I think.
All right.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. I follow about my book.
Hello.
They say if subsidy is withdrawn, the market will determine itself. What is the business of government fixing price for the petrol pump price?
Okay.
They say they will allow importers to import their fuel and do their work, and the people should buy in any price they want. Government inputting price is still like this. They don't have sympathize on Nigerian human beings that are suffering under Buhari government. The same APC.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your posers, buddy.
Yes, that's very, very important. National healing, national, unification, integration, because that 2023 presidential election was very, very divisive. I think it's the most divisive in the recent history of Nigeria's political journey. Very, very divisive, religious-wise, ethnic-wise, very divisive. And I think Tinubu should also start with healing. He shouldn't say, I have crossed the order, I'm the president of the Federal Republic, to hell with anything or anybody. No. He will come back 4 years, God willing. 4 years is by the corner. Yeah. He will come back to seek for re-election, and people might remind him, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So I think healing is very, very important. You see what happened, the Igbo thing, people, trying to mention Igbo name in anything, I don't like it. The Lagos, Dabaku, and Saga, it was unnecessary. People, democracy is a game of number. People with the highest number, we carry the day, whether they are settlers or indigenous. It's a democracy. So nobody should say anybody want to take anybody's city or anybody's say. So that was unfair to the Igbo ethnic group. It's unnecessary. So we don't need all these things. Tinubu should do that. He actually also promised governments of national competence. When they, through the idea of national unity of national government at him, he said, no, I will prefer government of national competence. I don't care where people will come from. So Lord, they are competent. They will work for me so that we can deliver good governance. Well, we are yet to see his appointees. Like I said, we've seen only 3 so far. And we make a lot of appointments. 3 is a very, very minute figure in the number of appointments. So we keep our fingers crossed to see the shape this appointment will take. But the healing, a machinery should be set in motion to commence national healing so that Nigerians, irrespective of where they are, irrespective of their creed, religion, sex, gender, and the rest of it, can have a sense of belonging. What happened under Buhari was nepotism. There were a lot of nepotism. Tinubu should not toe that line. There should be a change. I pray.
Okay, but let's look at another area that a lot of political pundits are expecting some kind of work to be done. It's on the political scene, political reforms. Some people have said the president also need to engineer political reforms, either through the National Assembly or through political parties or whatever, just to make sure that we embark on very radical political reforms
that will make election more acceptable, more credible. I think that is a journey in progress. We have started already, and I will tell you how. we started the political reform with the enactment of the Electoral Act 2020 as amended. You know, the last version was Electoral Act 2010, and it was amended by the National Assembly. We have now a 2020 version with a lot of innovations and new provisions, you know, to correct a lot of anomalies. But from what we have seen in the just concluded 2023 general election, there are more grounds to be covered. So I believe the incoming 10th National Assembly will take the challenge and also initiate, you know, necessary amendment to make sure we arrive at the destination. But it's a journey in progress.
Still talking about that journey. Apart from the electoral reforms, what about reforms of our political system, political parties, activities of political parties? Because over the years, some people are saddened by the fact that electoral matters are mostly decided by the courts.
By the courts, yeah.
And so sometimes the voters, the voice of the people hardly matter. And most times these cases are decided on technicalities.
Exactly.
So we need political parties to maybe take a second look at their laws, and not just their laws, their ability to respect their laws.
Well, I think the two important documents to guide this is the Constitution and the Electoral Act. If they are improved upon, it will also cover the operations of political parties, conduct of party officials. So these are the part of issue. I believe the right people will do the right thing. Yes, political parties are carrying on as lord of the manor, you know, trying to substitute candidate names at will, corruption, taking money from the wrong candidate to replace the right candidate, a lot of things. And that's why you have court cases. If you look at this election, I want to tell you the number of the pre-election matters is more than the election matter. And what does that tell you? The pre-election matter is not about the conduct of the election. The pre-election matter is about the conduct of the political parties. How party primaries were conducted. So I believe further reform or amendment of the Electoral Act 2020 and the Constitution as it affects conduct of election will also cover conduct of an operation of political party so that we can have more saner political climate.
Okay, Bode, let's move on to another issue, which is some people call it restructuring, some people call it different names. But let's start from the last government. The last administration, especially at the tail end, granted some powers to the state governments in terms of railways, in terms of power generation, correctional facility, and so much power. Some powers were delegated to the state. Do you think we can take it a step further?
Of course. That's also restructuring at the beginning. I think about how many bills signed by the President Muhammadu Buhari at the twilight of his administration. That's restructuring. So it means we don't need to convene any sovereign national conference, or any summit. Lawmakers who are elected representative of the people can go back to their constituencies, listen to people's wants, and come back to input same in the constitution. Then restructuring has started. We are restructuring our political structure, how the structure of the country is the structure of governance. So state can now generate power. Before now, it used to be in executive, exclusive list of the constitution. So that is in the concurrent. So that's restructuring. The correctional center, the railway, the mining, you know, a lot of things. So it's a journey. There are other areas to be covered too.
Like state police?
Exactly. To boost our security, we need to actually employ a workable solution to curb insecurity. And that workable solution must be a solution that actually recognizes the peculiarities of different parts of the country so that it will be easy and effective to curb insecurity. What is happening in Taraba is different from what is happening in Lagos. So approaches must be different. What is happening in Katsina is different from what is happening in Delta. Security-wise, approaches must be different. So these are the issues.
Okay, one sore point also was that stuck out throughout that period of constitution alteration was the local government issue.
Exactly.
And over the years, several administrations have tried to release the local government from the grasp of the
and the governors are against it.
And it's always been impossible.
Yeah, because of governors.
Is there any way out?
There is. I think one of the bills signed by President Muhammadu Buhari at the twilight of his administration was the State Judiciary and Legislature Independence Bill. So the judiciary at the state level and the legislature are now independent. In which way? Their allocation will no longer be at the whims and caprices of the governor. So they get their subvention direct to them. You know, I can only control you with money. Okay, if you don't do it, I won't give you your money. And since you use money, you want it. You may want to do what I want. So now that has been taken out of the grip of the governors, legislature at the state level, judiciary are independent, fine. The failed attempt at the last time was at the state level assembly. When the National Assembly transmitted the local government autonomy bill to the state assemblies, you know, there is a constitutional provision that at least 2/3 of them must add, and they refuse. You know why? Because they were answerable to the governors. They refuse. These are people close to the people. These are state lawmakers are elected to represent each local government, and they refuse just because governors say I don't like it. But now they have independence, they won't fear the governors again. Probably in this new dispensation, and as the 10th National Assembly is coming and they will initiate new process for constitutional amendment, probably will be lucky it will sail through.
Okay, all right, but it's
very, very crucial for grassroots development. As we have now, we don't have local government system. What we have are errand boys, you know, appointed into position by governors. They just call them to state capital, take your money, pay salary, go and sleep. Nothing is happening at the local level.
Okay, buddy, we have like 3 minutes to round this off. So I'm tempted to ask this question: how challenging was covering the election as a journalist for you, as an editor? How was it throughout that period?
Well, it was very, very challenging. First of all, a lot of fake news on the social media, and I don't know why Nigerians resort to employing fake news to just destabilize the polity. I don't know whether they are politicians or they are just Nigerians. They are catching cruise or catching form. Things are not happening. They say they are happening. You know, a lot of things to just disturb the political climate. It happened during the elections. Fake result of elections. When election had not been announced, people were posting fake result. This did not happen from the side of the conventional media because we have a rule to play by. We have a rule, and we are responsible to organizations and to the state. So we didn't do that. But Nigerians, who we are serving, are the ones distorting our work, disturbing the political climate. Fake news. Then there was issue of security. You know, attacks here and there. Remember Lagos incident? A woman was stabbed. A lot were affected. There are places that journalists were told, we have seen your camera, we respect you, leave this place, don't take any picture, because we want to have a field day, want to do our thing. Brazenly. You know, I watched a video where a man was telling people, if you know you cannot vote for APC in this place in Lagos, please don't waste your time, go to your house. Brazenly. Security men were there, helpless, they have been bought over. But journalists were never bought over. But we don't have arms, we didn't carry arms, we can't protect ourselves. So the safer thing to do is to leave, and leave it for the hoodlums to decide the fate of millions of Nigerians. So security was another challenge. INEC was very forthcoming with information. You know, there were daily briefing as to what was happening. INEC was very forthcoming with information. Fortunately, there are other INEC officials at the state levels, unscrupulous INEC officials who also compromised the processes and made issues, you know, difficult. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Bode Gbadebo, online editor at the Leadership newspaper. Always a pleasure having you on Insight. Thank you so much.
My pleasure too.
Thank you. Well, that's our package on Insight today. We return tomorrow with another edition. My name is Lawrence Umotte. Enjoy the rest of your day.